Hi everybody, your monthlies are finally coming out. I really had to kind of resolve in my own head how to do it to balance between everything I want to do for you and my current inability to actually donate as much time. So I decided to go free flow. And free flow, it's not going to have any kind of spread attached to it. I'm simply going to ask possibly different decks to give me messages for you, and we'll go with that. And this is sort of like really high level message that, it's going to tell you where you can go and to what you can amount and what you have to watch for. Like sort of like basic kind of like let's go for it kind of thing. I'm going to give in my bi-weeklies, which are always on the 1st and 15th published. So I'm sticking to that. And for those of you who are looking for X situation on and off, like there are also those series that are coming out every month. Now, before I move further, I actually want to send a shout out to everybody, and hopefully you will be joining in this particular proposal that I have. So I'm in the process of actually building my own card deck. It is collaboration between me and Mira, a wonderful, extraordinary artist. And so we are bouncing off the ideas back and forth. She's adding her basically touch to it, and everything that I have seen so far is like coming out really wonderfully. Now, I would actually like you guys to have your own touch to this basically making. And so I'm not doing this haphazardly. I don't know how much you know about me. I'm also a marketing professional. So I'm trying to select a group of people, 10 to 20, that, can give their 2 cents. And this is not like kind of a call for you giving accolades. This is really, I can understand this message in it. No, I cannot understand message in it, because that way you're going to set us straight to be on the right path. And so I'm trying to actually select these 20 to have men and women, people from all walks of life, people with all kind of tarot experiences, from, hey, I'm just here to watch it, to, yay, I am basically a guru. So if you guys are willing to jump on board, please go to www.cattarot.ca/focus group and just like submit your application. Why do you think you should be the one in that group? And I really, really appreciate everybody doing that. This is non-paid position, and it's purposely non-paid position because I do want you to give me a rough time. And this way, it's going to be a really wonderful creation, because sometimes I may be too much up in the air. I'm an air sign, and maybe I need to be grounded a little bit more, because I really like abstract. Other people really like ground. So hence, this collaborative kind of like pointers would really help to set me and Mira sailing in a better direction. And it's going to be a few rounds of this. This is a very, very first preliminary round. And I'm really, really thanking in advance to everybody who actually spent time even listening to this plea, and especially to those who actually apply or participate in a study. Thank you so much, and I look forward to applications. All the best. And now for the rest of us, let's jump right into the reading. Hi Taurus, and this is time for your October forecast. So before I just jump right in, and I really, really like what I see, this is going to be short reading. I really don't have much negative to say. So I'll try to give you as much detail about what's going on, because it's pretty awesome. The rune that I got here is Rune of Fate, and it is the first rune I'm drawing today. And usually they tell you, look, if this is the only rune or the first rune in a spread, you have to stop at once because you're not ready to receive the answers of the runes today. Well, I already had all these cards on the table before I actually did that, right? Because this is the Rune of Fate, And this is telling me that destiny is at work when basically this enigmatic blank rune appears, right? There is a story about that, right? Because it's talking about I think these three witches or something, like in the Nordic psychology, if I can remember the name, old, I think Verdandi and Skuld or something like that. I'm sure if any Norwegians are here, or if anybody who knows runes better than me is going to set me straight, right? But it's basically, I remember the story. The saga basically was that their fate basically had such complexity that if one of the witch was sent to the mountain, like on one side of the world, another one went all the way to the depth of the oceans, then they were so powerful that you still wouldn't be able to see kind of like it won't be able to encompass that kind of power, right? So these are kind of like very prophetic witches, and they kind of survived the Viking Age, and they're still very remembered, and actually they have been remembered in the other basically works, right, such as something familiar to all of you in Sleeping Beauty, and also I think it was in Macbeth, the Weird Sisters. So you're going to set this aside for now, and it's kind of like, let's jump into basically what kind of activation you're going to have this month. And I hope you're hearing me okay. I did change my setup from laptop to desktop, and I had to get a different microphone for the system, so let me know if you have any issues. So you guys have high-end wind, lightning, and lotus flower. So wind, the activation, it's basically saying to me that maybe you're feeling a certain type of lethargy, right? Maybe you know, there is something that needs to stir your senses, because the wind basically does that, right? So maybe you want to go and walk outdoors, or feel the breeze. Like, I mean, you're like an earth sign, like you like the nature, and the nature is really going to be beneficial here for you, right? This is also really good to activate with music, because music activates hearing, and music also sparks pleasure centers in the brain, right? Art, which is another good fit for you, right? That actually activates emotional responses, and of course touch. Human touch activates a deep need to be physically held and embraced, right? So this is telling me that this is now the time for action. So just engage in some kind of activity and be fully present to a point that you just like kind of stop caring about anything around you, right? Because making physical body alive will basically allow you to kind of like shake this stale energy that possibly exists within you, right? And then you're going to get right into the power, and this is like one of the forces of the nature, right? We all probably like these thunders, especially you know, when we are inside, right? So what is this power? Look at how much is crashing these waves, right? So it's neither good nor bad, right? It is how you utilize it. You know what they say, power corrupts, and the absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? So right now, like, you're going to be given special powers if you wish, and spirit will be working through you. So what is basically required, it's awareness of your intention. What are your values, Taurus? Are you willing to be the best person you want to be, right? Maybe you are thinking, of course, I'm going to use this power for good, but don't allow yourself to be caught in duality, right? And I know you will be. I know you will be. I see it. Whenever you see these checkerboards, and look, he has this glass and nice and something rigid behind it. You're, after all, a fixed sign. This is going to be challenge of your karma, right? So through prayer or ceremony, tap into this kind of spiritual force and kind of like pay attention to the messaging that comes to you, right? Because just try to do what is the right thing to do, even though at the moment it maybe appears you can snicker away something different. Don't do it. And then we have lotus flower. So if you win this human urges, and I think in your case it might be some kind of emotional reward. It's kind of interesting that it is really interesting how much emotions you're having in this period. It's not so much about money, 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 which I would think you would be asked about some kind of challenge. It's going to be something emotional. It's going to be something about, you know, if you can maybe embrace other people. So just watch it. It's going to be almost a trap, right? Because lotus flowers, what is lotus? Lotus goes all the way up to the surface and finds the leaf and starts opening up and unfolding, right? It's just at night it closes and pulls down under the surface. So it's a rhythm. It goes up and down, right? So problem here is, or point here is, that the cycles continue. The cycles will continue. This is going to go up and down. So this is just for you. Like, I mean, when it comes on the light, it's time to be active and it's time to exercise your power. When it kind of like goes in, it is time to rest, right? So sort of is asking you to move with the nature, move with emotions. So you don't need to strive or to be driven or have or you have to force yourself any kind of spiritual ambition, right? Do not force growth upon yourself. Just allow the place inside of you that naturally just like wants this light to come through. Look at this beautiful light. It is trying to come and say hi. And faith and love is the key, I think, especially in these two cards. It's going to be something really amazing unfolding, but you will be tested. You will be tested. Just remember this. It's going to be interesting. Now we are going into this law of tarot. Law of attraction tarot. So I just really wanted to see what kind of energies are you attracting, and I'm seeing it's going to be a choice between fairness and between just doing things for yourself. But let's backtrack over here. First one is basically this gentleman. So this is somebody who is really honest, somebody who is committed, somebody who is very important, but somebody also who can be very indulgent. It's the person, male or female, most likely male, that will be able to help you. You will notice this person because this person does have charisma. It doesn't matter how they look. Generally, they could be 40 plus, but this person really has charisma in some way. So they can actually help you in your goals, or they can be the person who will be entering your life. So it's somebody who has really glamorous days, a la Bachelor and Bachelorette, where they really want to plan something special, especially if you're a woman. We all like men with a plan. And if you're a man, this is a good thing to remember, because men try to be polite. Oh, what do you want to do? And woman is thinking, oh my gosh, you couldn't come up with a few options. You couldn't tell me. You couldn't surprise me, because that's the point, right? So then we are moving into basically like this kind of like winning thing. So you guys are going to triumph in something, and this could be regarding some kind of job offer. That could be pushing yourself up, right? Any obstacle that you had, and this kind of really requires here, just don't be a mad scientist or something, right? This is again winning a lottery card, guys. This is a wish card. So if you have a friend, and this could be this friend, it's going to be quite a few things here. Okay, so this can talk about relationship with foreigners, right? Because look at how many hands are kind of like needed for this. It's obviously talking about quite a few people engaging. I don't know if you see these clouds. Look at this one. Doesn't it look to you like a dollar sign? I'm sure it was not meant to be. I kind of like really like to look into the small little kind of like parts of it. Now, this is saying that all these clouds are basically obstacles to your dreams. They will disperse. So you will be actually re-engage. And if you have somebody who's a foreigner around you, you most likely will start a relationship with that person. And if you have a friend who does talk about some kind of a job offer or job possibility, grab it. And if you have somebody you love, open to this person up and engage. It's going to work out. So here I feel this has been given to me as sort of like another suggestion. What if you work in not the best interest? What if certain things happen that you kind of like fall into this deep, dark tunnel, right? This is still saying even if you do that, or even if you are a person who maybe have been wronged recently, this is talking about hope, right? And obstacles will be overcome, but it will take patience and willpower. And this card is, I don't know if you can see, it's basically a tunnel, right? And it's a light at the end of the tunnel. Don't you like it? I love it. Just, you know, commit to it. Just commit that you will go further. Do not engage in any gossips. It's a 7, guys. Gossip is maybe something that can undermine your power. You're never going to be seen powerful in life if you engage in gossip. You are never going to go further in life if you engage in negativity. You're given now this power. You're able to express yourself. You can go with basically the force. You don't have to go with undermining. And keep in mind that it takes half as much energy to express positivity, and some people who have to go in the negativity kind of like do it and just start to drag them down. So this, I think, is going to be your ultimate challenge. And then you have basically justice over here, and it's kind of interesting because this is talking about discipline, right? So this is definitely asking of you to balance all these options that you have. And it's asking of you that if you have any dream and you want to get somewhere, you need to visualize it every day. And you need to act as if it's already within your reach. This is really important. And again, this talks about the charging this energy. You're activating, you're getting into the power. You're like, if you're on the top, you're going to go much higher. If you're in the hole, you're going to get out, right? Because in this deck, Osho's Zen deck, we're having laziness, understanding, success, and past lives. This and this are the same cards, just to let you know. Just different decks are interpreting them differently. In this deck, they're telling that it's a success, and then you have a success over here. In this deck, this is talking about laziness, because check this guy out. He kind of think he just made it. Like there is no worry in the world that he has. But look at this. He kind of like maybe is forgetting that tomorrow is another day. He's forgetting that behind him he has this mountain of something that appears like fractured mirror images. Something that maybe has been buried in the past. Something that is like maybe part of his psyche. This card is telling me that we do need to kind of like at times just kind of let loose, let our hair down, and just enjoy the sun. And it's really to feel this cozy, like I'm in touchy-feely feeling. However, this is not to stay in that ambience environment forever. Also, these kind of moments are good to help us understand that maybe there are part of us that feel captured. Remember, look at this. We have the themes emerging with these bars, and sort of like here, at least they're telling us where to go. Here, the little bird is finally realizing that these bars are actually fading. Look at that. They're kind of fading, going toward the top. And imagine how you would feel if you are this bird. If you are kind of trying to look up and seeing the other birds, but like your wings are getting stuck on some obstacles, and maybe some principles that you're holding strongly on maybe forcing things. So is the force going to help bend those bars? Most likely no. So what's going to happen? Just a realization that you just need to look up. So this is again the positivity that is basically telling you, just like make sure you kind of like look like everything the best this month. If you have to be yes man the entire month, that probably would be the best. And you guys are going to really be on top. You're going to celebrate. You know, it's a great feeling being in the zone, knowing that you're going somewhere, knowing that the life is there for you, knowing that, you know, oh my gosh, this time has come, all this effort was not in vain. And the last card is kind of interesting, because look at these kind of like all these people. It's almost like a womb over here that we see, right? And these are many images and many past lives that we sort of like maybe, you know, fantasize about, or maybe we entertain sometimes. Okay, you know, this maybe happen and this maybe happen. Now, these two rainbow lizards are the keys in this card. They represent knowing and not knowing. They are the guardians of the unconscious, and they're making sure we actually prepare for the vision. If you had some kind of glimpses of deja vu, things have happened to you, you kind of like feel really comfortable with it, right? This time right now, the powers that you're going to be getting into is a glimpse of a gift, and that gift is not going to be financial. This gift is not going to be something you can touch, right? Because this is the gift of understanding, and most likely the understanding will karma, and it's not something that you can grasp at will. It's only something that is revealed to people who deserve this, right? So guys, this is kind of a journey in your own soul. And then Tarot lastly gave me just 3 cards. So there is still some kind of guard that you have. Maybe you are doing well financially, but maybe you are like protective of what you have. You see, by sitting on his little safe and holding his butterflies, milk, fish, and birdies over here, he's not able to enjoy them, nor he's able to share them with anybody. So 4s are good for building things, but 4s also tell us that the whole point is actually to give and share and kind of like enjoy this kind of like mutual correspondence and relationship with the other people. It looks to some of you are still maybe looking in the past, and this is now connecting why these past lives basically happened. Some of you are still thinking about somebody, and it could be somebody that you knew for quite a long time. And whether that person is going to appear, or if you're going to meet a new soulmate, which could be this person here, is going to be really interesting. But this is, guys, a soulmate card. Look at his paw is extended, like I want to share. I think we are equal, because look, they are the same size, and there is like a full moon, like sort of like giving that romantic kind of like flavor on top of everything. I really don't know that anybody would complain about this. So what we're going to do next, we are going to go into Lenormand and just like seeing maybe particulars of basically your life, sort of like more like down in nitty-gritty situations. Okay, so let's see, Taurus, October, 2017. Taurus, October 2017. We have the lilies, we have the rider, and we have the crossroads. I don't know, for some reason this crossroad cards is kind of reminding me on that power card. Something is going out, something is coming back. Rider is something that can be happening really, really, really fast. Maybe you're going to be planting some seeds, maybe you're going to do a different direction, maybe it's going to be a new job. But this was that banker or this guy over here. You can be talking about help from the outside. You can be talking about getting a loan, kind of like getting a successful health treatment, or so this is the gentleman on the bottom, and this could be somebody from the past returning back to your life. This could be the person who has gray hair or salt and pepper, one of these two things. Okay, so let's see, Taurus, what can you tell me for Taurus over here? Okay, this is kind of interesting. We actually don't have significators over here, but we have as a central card over here is the ring and the bouquet. So it could be some really celebration of a lucky occasion, and absolutely every sign had a cross, had this kind of like karmic card happening over here. Again, I see possible trouble for you guys. Well, actually, there is a significator here. There is the snake. So I don't know if you're feeling seduced by somebody. They can actually even seduce you in your own home. Or this is somebody from the past that has been a karmic relationship. Because I see it. I see she's right next to the cross and communication. It could be somebody you even had, or you wanted to have babies at one point. Because like she's knighting the locket, the heart. And she's also knighting the ring. So this could be the person from the past returning back to your life. And then also you have the bouquet and the clover, both very strongly powerful luck cards. I see the mice here, so that is like sort of like will be issues that maybe will nag you, but there'll be lots of communication, right? Look at this, you have the ship, which could mean that you're dealing with somebody from, like, I mean, some overseas or even long distance, and maybe that you're considering moving your home. There is like still certain unknown, and that's why the crossroads are here. Well, do I want to marry? Or do I want to have children? Or do I want to move somewhere and do something else? So it's going to be a really, really big month for you guys. I think no matter which one you decide, it's going to be interesting, because almost the destiny is in your own hands. Nothing really for you to worry. And lastly, I did pull the card from the Enchanted Map. And of course, just like the other cards, like, boy, like, I mean, you should play lottery this month. First of all, you got the master number 33, which is like 6, and it's a relationship number. And then you're getting peaks of joy. So let me read it to you. It says, your life is filled with happiness, so share it with others. Joy is yours today. No matter what you inquire, you will be happy with the results. You're coming closer to a sense of achievement, and you have worked hard for it. You are surrounded by true companions and events that are synchronistically arranged to bring you to the next level of your life. The world is singing a beautiful harmony. Life is exhilarating and hopeful.
Let gratitude fill your heart, and remember to share your happiness. Joy is contagious. I think somebody else got this card. Unbelievable. Guys, just enjoy it. And hopefully in your comments you're going to tell me what's going on. Joy is contagious, so please share it with us. We kind of like wouldn't mind rubbing off on your own luck. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and please click like or dislike if you dislike it as well. And also you can visit me on Facebook. And lastly, if you want your particular reading for your particular situation, please contact me via www.kettarot.ca. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Have a wonderful month.